So the only thing more high maintenance than Betty is Brandon. No, I'm joking, guys. Let's get on topic.
I didn't see that coming. I never do, though.
Yeah, that's true. Hey, everybody, it's Thomas with Get Out Arizona, and you are watching another episode of Toolbox Topic. I'm here with my co-host, Brandon Van Looven. Brandon, how the hell are ya?
Sweating already.
Sweating already. But ain't he a sexy bitch, ladies and gentlemen? Nice. Anyways, so we are once again at Trek Bicycle Store of West Phoenix in Goodyear, Arizona. And we're happy to be here. Happy that Brandon continues to host us every Thursday. I don't know why, but he does.
Yeah, it's a pretty good time.
It is a pretty good time. So it's where the cool kids hang out. I keep telling you guys that. And me. So, you know, there you have it. So today...
Look what came in.
Oh yeah, baby. Betty gets some more upgrades. These are the SRAM GX AXS wireless shifters. And we're going to install them on Betty today. Now, as some of you may know, because you've watched other episodes, hopefully, and if you haven't, get on it. I run the SRAM AXS reverb dropper post, and it's been stellar. Now, we'll admit, there was a factory defect. They took care of it.
Took care of you.
And since then, it's been amazing. It functions just like it should. I haven't had an issue. The battery life is tremendous. So now I'm going wireless with the shifters. What, 3-4 months? Easy for me with all the ride time I'm going to do. I'll give you guys a full assessment. We'll talk more about it. But it's going to be really exciting. And for the most part, taking the old cable mechanical derailleur
That's
off
going to
and
be the hard
everything,
part.
That's going to take more time than anything. There's going to be a lot of cut-ins and cut-outs because you don't think you really need to see all that jibber-jabber, but we'll walk you through the process. Now, Brandon, doing something like this typically, traditionally, when someone's upgrading a drivetrain, new derailleur, new shifters and everything, you pretty much have to stick with SRAM, Shimano, except maybe in the cassette, because we've seen some people do the...
It's recommended for sure.
Shimano.
These parts are all made to work together.
Right.
But we have seen them work fairly well by introducing both SRAM and Shimano components in, interchangeably. But I would always suggest we keep everything pure.
Right.
Keep everything SRAM, everything Shimano.
Birds of a feather, my friend. Birds of a feather. I don't know. Whatever. Now, typically, though, switching out an entire drivetrain, and if it's a road bike, you got the front derailleur, some gravel bikes too, typically takes what as far as time?
On a mechanical system?
Yeah, if we're going mechanical from mechanical.
Oh, geez. Probably give you at least an hour if everything goes smoothly.
Gotcha.
If everything goes smoothly.
Is that with the bourbon or without the bourbon?
That is without.
Okay. With
With
bourbon?
usually it goes a little bit quicker, but it doesn't really run as good.
Doesn't run as good. Okay. So either get fast and not quite as accurate, or slow and you don't have to worry about it. So
Pick your poison.
Yeah, I'll vote for bourbon, and I don't even drink. I'll vote for bourbon. So no, I'm joking, guys. Seriously. So yep. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna be removing the rear derailleur, all the cable, the front shifter, and then
All
we'll install the new shifter and everything.
all
like
the
that.
internal cable routing's got to come out. So
Yeah.
I hope you're good at editing because this is going to take a little while.
Yeah, no, we'll get this thing knocked out. Did I give you the battery already? I did.
Batteries right here?
Yep, batteries right there. So just to let you guys know, I mean, the SRAM batteries are very petite. Most of the times when they come in the box, they are not charged. I have an extra one, courtesy of SRAM. Thank you very much. So I charged this one last night. It's fully charged. That way when you go to adjust everything and we'll have to use the SRAM app and everything like that. I watched the video because I have no idea what I'm doing. I'm hoping Brandon knows what he's doing, or this could get real fun real quick. So, man, let's get this box open.
All right,
let's
do
get
it.
done.
Do you want to multitask? You want to do that while I do this?
Yeah.
All right. Have
Yeah.
fun with that, my friend.
Oh, yeah. Dude, I'm not going to cut you. Stop. I'm surgical with this thing. And in case anybody was curious, I do know how to do an emergency tracheotomy out on the trail. So if you ride with me and you start choking and I can't get that sucker out of your throat, have no fear. I'm still going to be able to save your life.
God.
Hey,
With a knife?
dude, I carry a trauma kit in every one of my packs. And yes, with a knife. I have a knife as well. Never know when you're going to have to stab a javelina, my friends. 300 style, Leonidas. Yeah. Right. and you guys wonder why I'm on YouTube. You guys have seen unboxing videos before, I'm sure, but there's the box. SRAM is not overly fancy, but I give them credit for their packaging. It is rather elegant. Let's open this up. All right. I don't even have my glasses on, but that's okay. So what you get in the kit, you do not get the cassette. And I will tell you this, I did order the 10 to 52 cassette. They're back ordered till January. I'm gonna keep having Brandon push that. Maybe if I'm lucky, it'll get here before Christmas, and we can have it as our Christmas episode.
Yay.
Betty gets a new cassette.
Merry Christmas.
Right? But until then, whatever cassette you have is what you're stuck with. Now, I do have the 12 gear cassette. This is a 10 to 50, okay? The one that I have on back order, or ordered, it's back ordered, is the 10 to 52. So I got a little bit larger bailout gear, which is nice. Ellie Mae has a 52 on her bailout gear, which I think is awesome. So now, there we go. There's the money shot. It's gonna be the new derailleur. Oh yeah, sexy. So in case you guys were wondering, SRAM did a great job. The internal components, everything is identical to their X01 and X00 Eagle series. The difference is, oh no, you're fine, Brandon. The difference is this one just weighs more, okay? I think it's the X00 Eagle is carbon fiber. The X01 is a mix of carbon fiber and alloy. This one's just, it's kind of chunky, like Betty, like me, so it makes sense, right? But the great thing about this is, if I'm correct, it retails for $6.99. Yeah.
Got that? Yeah.
Yeah.
Not too shabby.
Which is awesome because the X01 comes in at $1,000, and the X00 comes in at like $1,400 for the carbon fiber and less weight. So all that being said, this is a great value if you're thinking about getting into wireless shifting. This opens up a whole new outlook for people, and the GX is going to be comparable somewhere around the XT, I would say. It's good. It's really good. I wouldn't necessarily, well, I would maybe call it bomb-proof, because you guys know I ride the crap out of my bikes, and I've never had an issue with it. So good stuff right here. So you got the derailleur, and you got the shifter. Now, what I did, and I've got the new gen shifter, so it's got the button on the back and it's got the paddle up front. Now this is going to take me a bit of getting used to the way you mount it, and the SRAM wanted to do it to where it gave people more nostalgic for your 2-button shifters like this. And you can actually program this. You can program it to go 1 shift up, 1 shift down. If you're coming up your cassette, you can program it to do 2 shifts, 3 shifts, or 4 shifts with just a long press, which is really cool, and that's going to be kind of fun to set up and everything like that. But this is the shifter, very ergonomic, and here is the hanger. And oh look, Brandon, they included a little tool.
Oh man, nice touch.
Look at that.
That's cool.
Yeah, that is cool. So
one more thing to put in your backpack.
Exactly. Yeah, Brandon, see again, he's speaking my love language, ladies and gentlemen. So here's the battery. It comes with a charger. It comes with everything you need to get this install done. So please enjoy the intermission while we go ahead and we pull all these cables out and everything, get everything stripped off, and actually get some parts put on there, and then we'll come back to you guys. All right, guys, so as you can see, rear tire's off. Everything's ready to go. So Brandon is now going to remove the derailleur hanger. I've got the shifter and the rear derailleur paired. It's alive. It's alive. Hey. Anyways, I know, kind of goofy, but I'm a nerd. You guys shouldn't expect anything less. So this is set up and ready to go. So Brandon is going to go ahead and remove
the drivetrain parts.
The drivetrain parts
Sure.
and everything like that, and then we'll come back after the derailleur is installed and the shifter's installed, and we'll get to the adjustments and the micro adjustments. Yeah? Okay, cool.
Now we're going to start with the derailleur mounting with the derailleur all the way to the outboard position, which is going to be our highest gear.
Right.
What's going to be important is that we make sure that the little B-tension plate fits snugly against our derailleur hanger as well. Can't have any gaps between the two.
If you guys are wondering why I stepped out of frame real quick, so I wanted to make sure the other camera was framed in, to give it some production value. Because since we don't have English accents like some parts on YouTube, we got to make sure our production value is where it needs to be. So,
So
that's right, Brandon.
Derailleur's
Because
on.
everybody knows production value is key. You're gonna touch me today, Brandon. It's a special day. Betty's getting new shifters.
yeah,
Come on now.
not quite ready yet.
Oh,
We're not
Brandon.
ready yet.
What if I wore the unicorn hat? You like that, don't you? Don't you?
So
Again, it's not a toolbox topic without Mr. Finger.
we're all mounted up. Derailleur's all the way outboard. The B-tension post is all the way snug against here, against the derailleur hanger. And to make your job a little bit easier, these guys all have a little catch here.
A lockout.
That little lockout
Yeah.
to make your job a little bit easier as we're putting the chain on and
Right.
such. So I was going to say something else, but I forgot. Let's put that wheel on.
Yeah. Oh crap, the light's going out. Well, the light went out back
I
there.
thought there was more action than that going
Well,
on.
on the front end there is, but on the back end we haven't gotten started yet. But you wait, we will.
Oh, she's looking good, Vern.
I think so. So I know some of you guys, you're like, hey, it's a heavier derailleur. You know, they didn't use as top shelf parts as they did in their, you know, X00 and X01 series and everything. If you go on SRAM's website and you do some research and everything, there are some things you can upgrade on this, mainly the pulleys and the pulley bearings and stuff. So if you felt the need to do something like that, you can. There was even some talk that you could swap out this front part right here for an XO or an X01, but why would you? You know, you're buying this because it's bomb-proof and it works.
It's cost effective.
And it's cost effective. Maybe down the road when those pulleys get worn out, sure, go ahead and upgrade those for something else. But I guarantee you it's probably going to work just fine.
Yep.
And you guys know me, I'm a riding fool, so here in a few months I'll give you a full assessment on that.
Good. The things that I failed to mention before when we were attaching the derailleur, SRAM recommends that we don't put any lubrication on the bolt. Some people like to do that. SRAM is already pre-lubricated or pre-taped.
That's right,
Those
pre-lube
threads.
it,
So
guys.
don't put anything extra on that bolt in there.
A little
And
goes
the
a long
torque
way.
spec on this guy is about 11 Newton meters. I'm going to double check that later on.
It is 11 as a matter of fact.
We have the torque spec
Yeah.
out. Right now it's nice and snug on there with our three-way
Did you
hex
just say
wrench.
three-way?
Yeah, I do when I can.
Show to the
So
show.
we're going to go back later on and double check all the torque specs when we do the fine tuning. So chain's going to go on now. Here's an important part of it. If we're starting with a brand new chain, Thomas's bike was already set up for this 50 tooth big low gear, I should say. But this is how we're going to size this thing up. This is how SRAM's going to recommend. What you're going to do is you are going to set up your chain on the, well, this one only has one sprocket, or excuse me, one chain ring in the front. So we don't have to worry about that. But if you have multiple rings in the front, you're going to use the big ring in the front, and you're going to go to your lowest or your biggest ring in the back.
And here's me being dyslexic, guys. I call the biggest ring my lowest gear, not my highest gear.
That's all right.
Yeah, I'm backwards.
It happens.
It does. That's why nobody wants to ride with me on the group rides.
Now, you also have a new cassette coming, as we mentioned before, that
Right.
that 52. So we're just going to double check to make sure we're close on this one. And how we do that is, if we had a full chain here, we would wrap this thing twice. Oh, first thing I'm going to do is remove all the air from your rear shock.
Right.
So it'll simulate sag.
Yeah.
Again, what we're going to do later on when the bike is all complete, we're going to use you, because you're the rider, to produce the sag. But for now, we're going to get close by removing the air.
Yeah, that's real
Of the rear
important,
suspension.
guys. 'Cause if you adjust it without that full sag on there, it's not going to work properly.
So for a dual suspension, what they're going to recommend is our overlap is one outer plate and one inner plate overlap, which is almost exactly what we got here. Here's our one inner plate and our one outer plate. It's a little bit on the long side, no big deal. We're not going to cut this thing down and go too tight on that. So we're very, very close, very acceptable, and we're going to go ahead and route this.
Now, here's my question, and maybe some people are curious about this too. Why don't you run it through the derailleur first before you check that?
Because SRAM said so.
Oh, okay. Well, good enough for me. Hey?
We're going to route this chain. It is important, if you can see that, I don't know if the camera shows, but there is a plate inside here. We have to make sure it runs inside the plate, between the plate and the pulley. If you route this thing wrong, it's going to make a ton of racket. You will know immediately that you've done something wrong.
Right.
And if you will assist me, there's a quick link over there. Yeah, so we're going to do this the right way with a knife.
I'll cut you. Quick link.
Thank you.
There you go.
So SRAM recommends every time we remove the quick link that we replace it with a brand new quick link. These are not replaceable. I think KMC does make one that is reusable,
Right.
but for the time being we're going to be using the SRAM ones, and they are not reusable. They are also directional. You'll see a little arrow in here. You probably can't see that, but we're going to make sure that the configuration of the power link, or the quick link, excuse me, is going with the chain. And right now it is not.
Right. How ironic would that have been?
There's that. So we're going to get this on as tight as we can, right? Whoops. And there's a couple ways to snap this guy into place. One way to do it, if you don't have the tool for this, is to
Jerk the crank.
Is to wrap this thing all the way around, and when it comes to the top, you can hold on to the wheel and push down on the pedal, and that will snap it into place. I happen to have a little tool for that.
Oh wait, that's a cable cutter. Is that what you need?
That's what I need. Thank you.
Right on.
And this guy will eliminate the need for that. I can use it reversely, and it'll pop into place. There it is.
Oh,
You'll hear it and you'll
man.
feel it pop into
Yeah.
place. It's a beautiful
Brandon
thing.
flexing that muscle, that road biker muscle.
Now that we're all set up, I can very gently release the lock on that guy. It does have quite a bit of tension on there, so be careful. And letting it just fling into place isn't good for the derailleur either.
Right.
So very gently put it back. This is all looking real nice. I'm just going to give it a couple spins here just to make sure that that quick link is fully seated and it's not binding up in any way. Nope, feels great. So we are good. Time to fine tune.
Pedal. Pedal.
So we're not going to go all the way to the top right now. First
Right.
thing we're going to start with is our B tension adjustment. So if you will, please
One
give
more?
me one more. Beautiful. And
Right,
brake
'cause
isn't hooked up.
we should probably, we're gonna get the shifter mounted to the actual handlebars, guys, to do this. So, because I won't get it right.
So here is our Eagle B tension adjustment gauge right here. This is good for both 50 tooth and 52 tooth, and this works by shifting up into our next to lowest gear. And essentially what we're doing is attaching this, and we want to, this is pretty darn close already. This is almost spot on. There's a little notch right here, and that top pulley bolt should be centered up with that pointer right there. It could use a little bit of help, but we're very, very close. When doing the B tension adjustment, what you're going to want to do is just relieve the derailleur a little bit from tension before doing that, just to make sure that the screws are not putting too much strain on the system. So this is going to be just a small adjustment. We'll get that done right quick.
I thought my tools were disorganized.
I'm going to be adding just a little bit here. Again, taking some weight off of the derailleur. Checking again. A little bit more. But again, this will have to be readjusted again once we get Thomas on there with his rider weight.
Right, and since
That's spot on right there. Looks great.
Yeah, and here's a spoiler,
That's
guys.
bead tension.
So
bead tension.
it's Thursday morning from here. I'm going to work. Betty's actually going to stay here, and they're going to find somebody that weighs roughly 190 pounds to do this while I'm gone, so I can pick it up after work. So there's your spoiler alert. Okay, so that's on there loose, but it's on there, so we can get the brake cable and stuff.
Our next procedure is to do the limits. What we're going to do is very carefully. Do me a favor, if you'll get me back up into this guy here.
Yeah.
We're going to very slowly and very carefully bring this up into our lowest gear. There we go. The reason we're going to do this very slowly and carefully is because if the bead tension is way off, I don't want to throw this into the chain into your wheel. So how we
we should maybe get me a tard guard or something.
Yes,
like
yes, a Doric disc. So again, this may be a little bit difficult to see, but I have two limit screws here. Typically, they will be designated with an L or an H for low or high, which is nice. They don't do this. It's a bit more sophisticated once they don't do that, but just know that it's reversed on the SRAM ones. The outer one will actually do the limit for the low, and the inner one for the high. So keep that in mind. And what I want to do here is just visually look at my my limit screw, bring this guy down, just so it touches the stop. So it's just touched the stop, and I'm going to back this off a quarter turn.
Cool.
Low limit is set.
Nice.
If you will, please bring me down to the high. Again, I'm going to be very slow about this, guy, since limits are not set yet.
What?
He's going to bring me down to the highest.
Oh, okay.
Please.
Dude, that's some smooth.
That's
shit
nice,
there.
right? Same procedure here. I'm going to use the my limit bolt here. I'm going to bring this down just so it touches the stop. And I'm going to be looking at it the whole time, looking at the gap. So there, I've just barely hit the stop. I'm going to back it off a quarter turn. High limit is set. My next adjustment is going to be doing the alignment, and I'm going to do this off. We're going to go back to the second, to the top.
Oh, wrong one.
Be a little brake adjustment too later on. That's all right. And now this is something you can do, Thomas. You're going to look straight on, and what we need that derailleur cage to be is directly aligned, chain, and with that ring. If it looks good, we can leave it alone. If it's off, we're going to use that guy to do a micro adjust.
Right, which is where the app comes into play.
You can use the app, or you can use that guy too. If you hold down the button and flip it to whichever way you want it to go, you can line it up. How's it look?
I think it looks good, but you might have a better eye than I do, but I think it looks pretty freaking spot on, dude.
All right. Well, we both wear pretty thick glasses, so.
Right?
Yeah. I would agree with you.
Yeah.
That looks pretty spot on. You want to do the honors and run through that thing, see how it feels?
Well, let's get the shifter so I can
Okay. All right. Let's do it.
All right. Time for intermission, guys. Get the shifter mounted. I really want to hammer down on this thing. So while Brandon's putting the brake lever back on, we're getting ready to slide this back on. The app, and hopefully, you know, I'll try to zoom in, you know, whatever. You can assign these to how you want them, to which button you want to go up, which button for down, and then you can actually go even further and assign it on how you want it to shift going up the cassette, where if you want it to be a single shift, 2, 3, or 4 cassettes at once, doing a long hold, which I've really only ever skipped a couple gears. Sometimes I find myself in the wrong gear getting ready to go into a climb, and it's just quick 1, 2. So that's probably where I'll start at and adjust it as needed. So, and I could have put that on backwards. So
That is not clamshell, so I got to take this guy off again. Sorry.
you kind of have to spread it. Well, doesn't? Oh yeah, because that goes in
Yep.
there. Yep. No, it's not a clamshell.
The nice thing is, if you ever get hung up on these shifters, like this one, you may have seen in the beginning, I ran out of room. I couldn't take it off because his bars are so freaking wide. What you can do on these Shimano ones is they have a little notch right here. And by pushing in that pin, it'll open up the clamshell and you don't have to
Nice.
undo any cabling.
I did not know that.
Ooh, that's nice. That's
So
nice.
nice. So if you remember, and I'll actually put the link at the end of the video for you guys, when we did the handlebar and the stem upgrade. So even though everything was pretty much where it was originally with the old bars and everything like that, I still took it out for a spin around the block. I loosened everything up just enough so I can fine tune that back to where it was. Whenever you make adjustments to your cockpit, maybe your seat, maybe you got a new dropper post, a new seat in general, it's always good to ride it a little bit, maybe around your neighborhood, in a retention if it's close by or something, because then you'll get it dialed right back in to exactly where it was. Now, I can tell you right now, the grip isn't, you can see where the fin on this grip is, so we're gonna have to rotate that a little bit up.
More?
Yeah, I'm goofy that way. And that's about right. So
Okay.
at least there's that frame of reference. But the shifters and the brake levers, I tend to have mine. And everybody's ergonomics is different.
Yep.
So
you have to do that. And as you're adjusting these things and tightening them down, these are only like a 2 to 3 Newton meter torque spec. So they're very light. You do not need to crank on those guys.
and SRAM, there's a couple other companies, the brackets that they use around, they're a cast aluminum. So if you tighten it too much, you will crack it, not realize it, and then it'll break on the trail or something like that. So definitely be careful with that.
The SRAM stuff is Torx. The Shimano stuff that we're putting on here is a Hex.
Of course.
Just snugging them up. Again, he's going to make his fine-tuning adjustments when the bike's on the ground.
All right, Bubba.
Man,
Give her a spin. Let's see.
all right.
Let's see what we got. We going up?
You can go wherever you want, man.
Down. Where's the shifter? Where's the shifter? She's my sister. She's my sister. Oh, yeah.
There are no cables.
Oh, so it's not going up.
It's not going up,
It's not going up.
and we're blinking too.
So,
Is it hitting something? Is it hitting that before it gets?
no.
Okay.
All right. So,
All right.
so the top paddle is to go down,
Yep.
and this one is to go up. Well, it's not going up. So this is actually
It's actually
upside down.
hitting. It's hitting our.
Brake?
It's hitting the brake.
Okay.
So couldn't see that one coming.
No, couldn't see it coming. But now you guys know, and knowing's half the battle. Now this shifter is definitely a little bit different than traditional shifter, and I know they've tried to make it as close to as possible. Yep, there we go.
All right.
Okay, pedal. Pedal like you mean
Pedal,
it.
pedal, pedal, pedal. There she goes.
Oh, dude, that is so fast. As fast as I'm hitting, it's just jumping down. Oh, isn't that buttery smooth? So they've got the shifter, another toggle right here. Okay, if you want to pedal real slow, Brandon,
Yes.
if you could, please. So they've got another shifter back here, and you can set it up, and this is to go down, and then this is to go up. Okay, so down, and this is to go up. So what I need to do is, because that's that secondary one back there, I'll figure it out. But I didn't think I was going to like the toggle up or the toggle down. And see, here's what I'm going to do. Now, Brandon will go ahead and hit the brakes. So now, because the way my brain works, I'm going to open up the app and I'm going to swap these. I'm going to try to swap them.
While you're doing
Error.
that, yeah.
There was an error saving your configurations.
Ah!
Right? Okay. So now Brandon pedal. Let's see if that worked. Okay, so that's still going down. So yeah, it's not saving the configurations. All right. Go figure. So basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to use this one to go up my cassette and this one to go down. But right now, Brandon, go ahead and pedal. You can see this is going up and this is going down. It's just the way my brain works, okay? So I'll fiddle fart around with that and I'll figure why there's an error in that control, but that's just basically how I want to have it set up as far as that goes.
And one thing to note also, as we're running through these gears, they all sound quiet, they all sound smooth. So if we did have one that was maybe making a little tick or making a little grind, we can micro adjust either with your app when it gets working, or you can micro adjust straight from the shifter by holding down the status button and by making moves with a paddle for either direction to make it quiet.
Right.
But it sounded great out of the box, that it was lined up, and it was a very easy adjustment, very easy procedure.
Yeah, no, it certainly was. It definitely was. All right, guys, and it's
You're no longer acoustic.
Nope. No, pretty much. That's full digital right there. So I'm going to open up the SRAM app again just to see, maybe close it, open it up, see what we got going on here. Got that. You want to press the little...
Oh, you need the button pressed?
Yeah, press that back button. So just press it once.
All right.
There we go. Okay. So in with SRAM, you do have to wake it up, so to speak. So before every ride, I just hit the button, it brings it out of sleep mode. And, well, of course, it's another firmware update. Now here's the micro adjustment that Brandon was talking about, which we don't actually need. And then, of course, the light's going off back there. Why wouldn't it? So yeah, so when I get home, well, here in the next couple days when I have time, we'll go ahead and set everything up and do it to fine tune everything into my liking. And it's doing firmware updates and it's one of those things, being in the box. SRAM's actually really good about updating firmware for their stuff. So yeah, that's it, guys. Yeah. Pretty darn easy. Looking at the clock without all the in-between stuff, it was 50 minutes.
Not bad.
Okay.
Not bad.
Yeah, because we got started at about 8 o'clock. So maybe realistically, take some of the other stuff out, filming and everything like that. You could probably do this job in 30 minutes to 40 minutes if you have the tools and you're prepared. Yeah. Taking your time, setting everything up, making sure firmwares are updated and everything. You know, if you want to call it an hour, you can call it an hour. But you can see, and I mean, not a whole lot of restrictions in the cockpit anymore. We got brake cables. I'm sure one day they'll have wireless braking, which I don't know if I trust my life on that. Shifting's one thing. Dropper post is one thing. Braking's a whole other deal. So,
so that was cool, man. Now you just got to put some air in that shock and you can take it for a spin.
Yeah. Well, actually, again, you know, and I can't say enough good things about Brandon and the bike shop and the guys here and everything like that. So like I said, the bike's staying here today. From here, I'm going to work. I do have other gigs I need to do. Brandon noticed that the shock is leaking a little bit too much fluid. So while she's here, they're actually going to do
new seals,
do a maintenance on that, and then go ahead and air that up. I think Doug's close to my weight, so Doug will probably be the one maybe riding it around and get everything adjusted. We'll bring this dropper post back to where it should be, but it's not going to be too hard because of that that nice mark right there. And then, yeah, here in the next couple days, I'll ride around the block. I'll get everything dialed in and adjusted and everything, and she'll be ready to go. Now, some of you might say, oh, Thomas, you know, the firmware and, oh, you know, you would have to do that on a mechanical one anyways. You're going to adjust stuff to your liking and everything. I know there's people that still are leery about the wireless shifting, whether it's ETAP with Shimano, which isn't really full wireless, it's electric shifting, and then SRAM being the full wireless. It works, guys. It really does. And at some point, this is what it's going to be. Mechanical is going away. And I got to say, SRAM's really, I think, the front runner on that. Just really developing the system, perfecting the system, and bringing cost-effective options to a variety of riders.
Well said.
Before, most riders were priced out, and now a lot of riders are back in the game. So on that note, guys, man, it's a good time, wasn't it? I thought it was. What do you think, Brandon?
That was a lot easier than I thought it would be.
There you go. There you go. So first of all, I want to say thanks to Brandon.
You're welcome.
And Trek Bicycle Store West Phoenix in Goodyear, Arizona. There's a link down below. So if you have any questions about this episode, you can comment down in the comment section below, which I would love for you to do. Or you can follow the link. You can give these guys a call, and they'll take care of you, okay? And any question you need answered, they'll be able to help you, whether you're local, whether you're out of state, and you see the video and like, oh, I got questions, give them a call. There's also going to be some links to our social media, our Instagram, our Facebook. If you want to keep up on the daily, what's going on with Get Out Arizona, follow those links and follow us. I would love it if you did, okay? Do not forget to hit the like button and the subscribe button and the bell notification icon button. So that way when new episodes come available, whether they're trail videos, toolbox topic, let's talk about it, you'll be one of the first ones to know, and you can come hang out with the cool kids and have good conversation about me being a jackass. You know?
It'd be a long conversation.
Real long conversation, dude. Seriously. And long and distinguished is what that is. Anyways, guys, it's always a pleasure doing these videos for you. Really appreciate the support. I know it doesn't seem like a lot, but we've finally reached over 50 subs, which I'm really happy. We continue to grow every month, and we're well over 200 followers on our Instagram, which again, may not seem like a lot to most, but it sure means something to me. So on that note, I want to say thank you. Don't forget, what do we always say? Be kind to yourself and others. Be amazing stewards out on that trail. And we got to ask, what are you waiting for, Brandon?
Get Out Arizona.
There you have it, straight
On
from
cue.
Yeah. You need to grow the mustache. Next time it'll
maybe.
We'll see. Yeah, we'll match. So, all right, guys. That's enough shenanigans. Have a great day, and we will see you on that next adventure. Thanks, sir.
Have fun with your new drivetrain.
Of course.
Sweet.
All right, cool.